what I find fascinating is that there's been nothing in Congress really of significance for 10 years on immigration reform, when we had such a very comprehensive piece of legislation in 2013, 2014, then it died. But then all of a sudden in the lame duck session, just a month or two ago, there seemed to be this bipartisan, I don't know if we would even call it a framework. I don't know if it was that fully formed, but a conversation that was pretty serious between Senator Tillis of North Carolina, the Republican, and then Senator Sinema in Arizona, who was a Democrat, now an independent. Can you what was that? And can you walk us through that? And what were they actually talking about?
Yeah, so I think, as I said, for many Republicans and Democrats, the issue is a live political issue. But I think there is a growing number of members of Congress who are seeing in real time the effects of not fixing our immigration system. As I mentioned, there's lots of divisions in the country about, what we should do about the border, what we should do about the undocumented, what our legal immigration would look at. But there is unanimous agreement that what we've got now isn't working. It isn't working. And you see that every day with the growing numbers of people arriving at the border who are claiming asylum, the overwhelming of our immigration courts. Even our legal immigration system has record processing delays and backlogs that are affecting people trying to come here via our existing legal immigration system. As you already mentioned, at the same time, we're seeing significant issues with finding workers in key industries, healthcare. We just passed a really big infrastructure law, the CHIPS and Science Act, that's supposed to restart innovation, research and development, and manufacturing in key high-tech sectors, including, semiconductors and other technologies. But we also have this disconnect in that the number of people graduating from advanced degree programs in the United States in those research fields, a lot of them are immigrants who don't have a way to stay. Mm-hmm. So we have a big disconnect between the way our immigration system looks right now, which hasn't really changed fundamentally since 1965, was last updated in terms of numbers in 1990, and what we think we need for the country. And then again, the infrastructure, the processes we have put in place to try to manage migration and secure the US-Mexico border for the last 20 years or more are having a decreasing effect because migration itself at the border has changed. For most of the 20th century, all the way till the beginning part of this century, 90+% of everybody that came to the US-Mexico border to immigrate was Mexican, was adult, single males, and they were trying to evade capture to sneak in to work, and then maybe would work for a while and go back. But that's no longer the case. Now we have significant numbers of families of unaccompanied children who are not from Mexico, who are from countries as far away as India and Ukraine and Cameroon, as well as all of Latin America. And they're not trying to evade detection, they're turning themselves in, overwhelming the Border Patrol. So that process, that whole way we have treated the US-Mexico border for enforcement no longer works. And you've seen struggles from the Obama administration through the Trump administration, through this administration, trying to figure out what do we do with this new migration trends. So when I say every part of the immigration system is not working, I literally mean every part of the immigration system is not working. And what you saw Senator Sinema and Senator Tillis try to do was looking for serious bipartisan ways of trying to address the border issue, which is a crisis. It is a humanitarian crisis. It is an immigration crisis. I would argue it is also a security crisis because we don't know what we don't know because we're dealing with the asylum seekers. And it's, it's a crisis politically for the Biden administration and for Congress. And they're trying to also look at the status of these DACA recipients, this program that President Obama created in 2012 that was supposed to be temporary until Congress could do something. They haven't done anything 10 years on the line. So they were trying to link those issues. I think they were very serious attempts. I think a lame duck session is a really sort of intense, short time frame to try to negotiate something that complex and difficult, and they just kind of ran out of time. But they're back at it now, and they're continuing to try in this new Congress. So we'll see if they can come to some sort of agreement.